Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I have a topic for you, but before I start, just a couple of things I want to mention. First one is, of course, going to be about replying. So if you're waiting for a reply, please be patient. Do not send, extra messages because I'm not ignoring you on purpose, and there is no need to send a bunch of emails or messages. I will reply when I'm available. Keep in mind, we are probably not in the same time zone, so I might be sleeping, I might be at work, I might be doing spell work, readings, whatever, and I will reply. I always do. I always reply within 24 hours, and there is no reason to panic. So, thank you for your patience. Okay, another thing is for those who constantly think they're hexed when they're actually just anxious. So, if I told you that you do not need a hex removal because you are not hexed, please accept it and work on your anxiety because that is your problem and not somebody hexing you. I will not perform any unnecessary spell work. Okay. And now let's get into more positive. Although this audio is gonna be about some mistakes that are very common, so it's not actually gonna be a positive audio. But let's get to more positive stuff because so many of you had major movements lately, and just today, two of you had really big movements. So I just want to say I'm really happy. I want to say congratulations. And for everyone else, I want to say that these clients were also in victim mentality when they found me. They were also anxious, but they followed the instructions. They got out of victim mentality and they are having their results now. And that can be you as well. You just need to listen. So, victim mentality is a choice, actually, guys. You can get out of it or you can just stay there and be miserable. And some people, they tend to stay in victim mentality forever. You know, those bitter older people that are just bitter and they just hate everything and they just say everything's awful and everything's awful always for them because they are not trying to change. They are not changing internally, so nothing can change for them. Don't become one of those bitter old people, please. That is just terrible. So things can always be better. So, like I said, I want to congratulate these the people that had movement. I also want to say that I'm very thankful to all of you that have been, just helping each other, talking to each other. I know there's a lot of you who do that. I'm sure I don't know every single person because how I find out about it is when somebody tells me, "Oh, I've been talking to this and this client of yours, and they have been very helpful." So, thank you for doing that because nobody needs to do this. Nobody needs to do anything, and that is beyond kind, guys. Thank you. And on that note, I also want to say that I shared recently that placements that are good for magic are also really difficult placements, and having wonderful clients, and I usually have the best clients, really makes it a lot easier. And I am very thankful for that. It really helps with my just like my personal struggles. So I really want to thank you. And guys, I could easily go in victim mentality as well if I, were to pay attention to random people on the internet who are saying, mean stuff and lies and things like that. But I focus on the people that are positive, on the clients that appreciate my help and that actually follow the instructions and get results. Because why should I focus on the people who don't want to do anything and who just decide to stay in victim mentality? I'm not going to focus on that. There is no way. So, this audio, the topic is going to be something that is very common. And usually, this mistake is done by anxiously attached people. And recently, we had somebody kind of do this, and I've had it done in the past a lot of times. And also, some people are under the impression that if somebody does a spell for them, they're allowed to do all the mistakes they can because they got magic behind them, so they can say whatever they want to their ex, and they can be assholes to them, and they can do this and this because they got magic behind it, so their ex is, I don't know, supposed to be their slave. That's not gonna happen. And I don't know who told you that, but that is not how magic works at all. Magic works in a natural way. It doesn't force anybody to do anything. And no, you can't keep doing the stuff you're doing. You need to change. Your energy needs to change. And that's just how it works. I did not make up the rules. It is what it is. So, what I'm talking about is when you are blowing up somebody's phone and you are sending a bunch of messages where you're trying to prove your worth. And people tend to do that a lot, actually. You may think you're the only one if you're listening and you did this, but there's so many examples of this. So let's kind of dissect what's going on here and what is going to be the outcome. So first of all, what you're trying to do is you're trying to manipulate somebody. And I'm going to give you an example that I recently had in my own life. So I have this friend, a male friend, and he fell in love with me. And, he told me that, but he said that he wants to stay friends and that he's going to be really respectful and all of that. I've told him that I'm not interested and I will never be, and all of that. And basically, what has been happening is that he has started to get some jealousy if I would talk to other guys or mention them or whatever. He would get these little jealous outbreaks, and he would also text me, crazy messages, basically crazy texts. And then the next day he would apologize and he would kind of find an explanation why he did it. He would try to explain it rationally without admitting that he is indeed jealous. So the first thing I want to point out is that people who tend to do this, they will never admit what they're doing, why they're doing it, or they will never admit that they have some kind of a problem. It will always be somebody else. They will always say, even clients, when I talk to them about this, they will always say, but this person did this and this. Yes, I understand. You were triggered. Something needs to happen for you to be triggered. So something happened in this case as well. I was talking to some other men and, this person was triggered. So I understand that. I get it. I know how triggers work. But they will always, find an explanation for their behavior, both for themselves and then for the person they are texting. And they will never admit that they are, having a certain problem. They will just say, oh, it was because this, and this. And they will always try to explain it and go out of their way explaining it even. So that's one thing. The other thing is they will try to manipulate. And yes, I'm sorry, I'll be honest. So, for example, this friend, he tends to always mention when he's apologizing all the things he did for me. So, what a great friend he's been, how supportive he has been, all of that. So they will just kind of try to mention, but I did this and this and this. Hey, I'm a good person, And what this is, it's manipulation. And what's going to happen, guys, is that the person you're sending this text to, they're going to know exactly what you're doing and they're not going to be fooled by this. And I know that I'm a psychologist, so you may think, oh, it's easy for me to determine it. But trust me, my other friends that are not psychologists have also figured it out. It's not that hard. And the reason why, it's because of the energy behind it. As you know, we all feel energies. So people will know exactly what you're doing. They will. And also, you need to be aware of that. What people, however, tend to do if they care about you and they want to keep you in their life is that they will kind of let it slide a first few times. I did that as well. I knew why he was doing it. I knew that his explanation is just a way to convince me that he is not crazy and that everything's fine with him and that he doesn't have a problem. I knew that him mentioning how he was there for me and how he helped me with this, and this was him trying to manipulate me into hanging out with him again. I knew all along, but then, I also cared about him and I did value our friendship, so I just went with it. But guys, there will come a moment when you're gonna do it over and over and over again, and this person is gonna just have enough of it. And how it's gonna end is with blocking. That's how it's gonna end. Trust me. It ended like this for majority of the clients, and it ended like this for my friend as well, because you kind of let it slide the first few times, and then you see that it's not stopping and that it will not stop and that this person has some serious issues. And yes, this person is going to think that there's something wrong with you, and they're going to see how insecure you are, and they're not going to be attracted to that, and they are not going to want that in their lives. And that is the harsh truth about it, and you need to hear it. So I don't want anybody doing this mistake. If you already did, and a bunch of clients already did this before, they started working with me, it makes your situation harder. Absolutely. But if you don't repeat it, you may still have a chance. If you're gonna do it over and over again, forget it. Forget it. This is this is a really bad thing to do. It's not a good idea. And it may seem like a good idea because you think, okay, I'm gonna say this and this and this, and then this person's gonna see how great I am. But the thing is, this person can't see how great you are and can't see the true you because of the stuff you are doing. And they're just going to be, the real you is going to be in the shadow of all of this. Now, let's get into why you're doing it and what you're trying to achieve with it, because there's a reason for that. So, what it shows is, of course, victim mentality, insecurities, things like that. You will do stuff like that when you're triggered, and you are triggered when you don't feel safe. And absolutely, the person will need to say or do something for you to get triggered. I'm not denying it. However, your reaction is the problem. Because if you're going to be reacting like this, where it's coming from is a wound, a childhood wound. And now, basically, what is going on is that your inner child is trying to fix an event that is over, something that happened in the past, when they were not feeling validated, they were not feeling chosen, they were not feeling good enough. And now they are seeing this situation as an opportunity to get closure. So your inner child is basically doing all of this and reacting in a childish way to get closure, because what the inner child wants is for this person to validate you so they can feel validated, and so that the stuff that happened in the past will just feel better to them. As we know, this is not the way to go, and this will not work. It will simply not work. You will never get what you want with reactions like this. Another problem is that you are gonna have, if you've done this, you know this, you are not going to be able to control yourself. You may even know, okay, this is not a good idea, I should stop, but you won't be able to. You will still send that text. And how to get self control is by working on yourself, by working on these issues, because you're the problem. You are the problem, not this situation and not this person. The true problem lies inside of you, in your past, and your reaction is a problem. So nobody's gonna think, oh, right, so this is why they did this. Oh, that makes so much sense. Oh, yes, this is a great person. I just have to continue seeing this person. That's not gonna happen. Guys, that's not gonna happen. What they're gonna think is, this person has issues, this person has problems, I should stay away from this person. Some of them will even be scared of you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know that it's really hard to control yourself if you haven't done the work. And this is why I promote self work. Because if you're going to be behaving like this, nobody can help you. Nobody can help you. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope nobody does this mistake ever again. I really hope so. I hope everybody realizes how bad this is. Anyways, guys, I love you and wish you the best, and have a great evening, day, morning. Bye.